Hello to the TOC meeting, 29 of July. Today we have the agenda to go over the action items from last week. We will get an update from the docs working group. And yeah, review PRs issues, talk about any other business. So let's check on the action items from last week. So we had the action item to generate RFC number and tracking issues. This is done. We have the links here. Oh, I don't have here check marks, checkbox. Okay, and we had organized next cost optimization meeting. So we decided last time to have that one on August 11th. So I notified in the channel. We have the people. Here is the link to the message. Any questions? Okay, then we have Anita. Thank you, Anita, for joining.
Good morning.
The floor is yours. Morning.
Well, this will be quick. I mean, I'm still attending the monthly meetings all by myself. So, and the work is mostly mine, and we haven't had a lot of doc PRs in the last couple of months, but we have had a couple of really good flags of areas where the formatting has gone very wrong. You know, it's hard to tell when you're just updating the doc and people don't have the ability to stage it and look at it. So we've done some major fixes on a couple of pages. The work I have planned for the coming month or so, one, this has been underway for a while and it's partially done, is to go through all the READMEs and make sure they're up to date and they make sense and they're useful. And the second thing is that I would really like to, my plan is to go through every page by page every year. I did it last July, fixed a lot of formatting and various things at that point. This is not a full edit where I read every word, but at least we'll get the formatting right. Because quite often the markdown will end up, errors in the markdown will end up giving you things like lists all in one line or silly things like that just don't display properly, very hard to read. So I didn't get to it this month, but I will next month, and I'll look at every word and make sure the formatting all works. It's been really busy over here, so I haven't got as much done as I wanted to. Are there any questions or suggestions for things that need to be done or worries about the current state of the docs or anything like that?
We made the branch protection default last week. Have you noticed something, an impact in the automations you have for the documentation?
Well, I don't have any explicit automations that I've put in, but the builds are still working as far as I can tell. I haven't actually noticed a difference, but then I haven't really been committing a lot of changes to those repos. So it's not, I might not have noticed.
If the builds are still working, then all fine. Yeah.
Then we should be all right. Yeah.
And also you had some new backups, new approvals in the working group.
Yes, a couple of our experienced people left in the last couple of months. So I had to deputize a couple of new people so that when things are covered when I'm on vacation and so on. So yeah, those are two more Broadcom people, Stuart Clements and Richard Johnson. They're both in Europe. So for time zones, be aware that they will answer, but it may not be when you expect. I'm in Pacific time zone and they're in one in Switzerland and one in London. So yeah, they're not experienced, and I mean, I've taken them through a few things, but they have really very little understanding of how it's put together, even less than me. So, well, it's a work in progress there.
Are there any other questions?
Just posted one in chat here. I know that we have an RFC out there for documentation related to the API docs. Is that Anita, do you do anything with the CAPI?
I don't.
document?
No,
Okay.
no, that's a different set of documentation.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. As a general, well, as a rule, I don't do any work on API docs. Those are all automatically generated to a repo, which then automatically puts them through whatever pipeline is required. The only thing I do with any of the API pipelines is I have to explicitly launch the UAA API pipeline when I'm asked to do that. And so if a request comes in, I push the button and away we go. So, but that's all I do for APIs.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, looks like there are no other questions. So thank you, Anita, for the update.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Bye.
bye-bye. Okay, then we can proceed with our PRs and RFCs. We have only one PR. So in our foundational infrastructure working group, we had multiple issues with the branch protection. So people use deploy keys and they still want to use. Ruben is a little bit in different opinion. So we had some discussions, but at the moment, I think we need to, maybe on TOC level or on working group level, force something to happen if we don't like deploy keys.
I didn't know quite what to say here because I don't have a strong stance one way or another. Isn't it a bit up to the individual working groups on whether or not they want to use deploy or can or should or whatever use deploy keys? Is that something that TOC should be trying to figure out?
In principle, yes, and that's actually what also the foundational infrastructure now decided. But it means a number of workarounds because the standard branch protection tells you admins cannot bypass the branch protection. That also for good reasons, so you do not accidentally delete a repository and things like that. That has been discussed and was decided this way. But the side effect is that you cannot use deploy keys, at least with a standard GitHub functionality. There seems to be no flag to enable deploy keys because they act like an admin. And in other working groups, the bot users are used for similar activity, and that's they are taking part in the org automation. I don't know the technical arguments against bot users and in favor of deploy keys that can be discussed, and then we could decide either to forbid deploy keys or say working groups have to work around it and do it with explicit branch protection rules. Or we give up on this flag in general, so we allow admins to bypass branch protection in general. Many options, pros and cons for each. So I have no real strong opinion. Also, if foundational infrastructure wants to configure that differently, all fine. I mean, there are also other repositories that have special branch protection rules configured for good reasons, and I don't see a reason to forbid that.
Yeah. So I've been reading since the last 2 days pros, cons. You can find
Wow.
pros and cons. Yeah. But yeah, somehow, yeah. I think we can unblock the situation and then see what we can do. Whether we need a stronger supply chain level. Yeah. But deploy keys or tokens from bot users, you can also have per repository, which one argument for deploy keys is that they are per repository. You can have them per repository. Scope is not so broad if one deploy key gets exposed to
Well, I like the idea of the deploy key too, because it's only for one repo.
yes.
And I know there's other things that count against it, but I did like the idea of you're able to just because of the way it exists, you're scoped to just that one deployment where if we start teams are using dedicated user accounts for that, the user accounts could have access to multiple different repos, and you go from being afraid of it deleting one repo to, oh my God, where did Cloud Foundry go?
Yeah, you can have multiple bot users with per area or but okay.
Yeah. I guess this one has to be merged, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Delete branch, I can do. Okay. It's from that fork, but okay. So now on the RFCs, I see Derek here. Maybe we can start with shared concourse in case you don't have much time.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I saw that you folks were looking to approve, and I was responding to the change you asked me to make, rightfully so, and it undid all the approvals. Because I was like, well, I should have done that before y'all got here. So apologies. But yeah, made the updates that you requested, or at least I think I did, and should be good to go now.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Maybe one additional point. We've been discussing last time about the next cost-saving meeting, which will happen 11th of August. And one agenda point there, I think makes sense to have the concourse central service. Maybe people just bring some feedback, or I don't know.
Feedback on the idea, or have something in time for August such that you have someone already trying it, because the latter sounds ambitious given the time between now and August 11th.
Feedback, or maybe you can just give a short status update where the implementation is, or just collect if you already have some impressions about options, just ask for short feedback, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, thank you. So we have the pros and all the comments. So I will generate.
You got as many approvals as you're going to get today.
Yes. Yeah, I was surprised that this year we don't cancel any meeting during August. Somehow we plan to be available.
It's a good chance for RCs, right, to get through.
Maybe one additional information for you, Derek. Usually for the RFCs, we have also issues, tracking issues, which usually we have those on our board. So I will create one now after the meeting, and yeah, you can link all the PRs issues to that one. So we have those in one place. For example, here IPv6, yeah, people are just tracking overall what is happening across the different components. Now with the central concourse service, maybe it's not, I don't know, not cross working groups, but yeah, we have this.
Okay.
This to just keep track of the RFCs. Okay. Now IPv6 RFCs. Sorry. The next one is about the hash-based routing algorithm. So this looks also good. We started the final comment period last time. There is just a comment from Greg since last time that sticky session affinity is also something which could be related to this one. So here I mentioned that this is not a block. I think we can go and merge, and then people can can decide what to do with this. RFC number, okay. So the custom stacks, so we have general discussions here, also some conceptual challenges, how to say, having the registry as yeah, dependency, maybe it's not a good idea, but yeah, we yeah, still in discussion, I would say. The next one is the cloud controller blob store type.
Yep, there was some discussion, some proposals, and I had already the +1 from Ruben. According to the discussion, I modified it slightly today to have, let's say, weaker wording regarding how to structure the project and leave that over into the implementation phase. And the proposal is now to move the 4 existing repositories into this new area for the Bosch storage keys. And then the implementation team can decide when to consolidate, if to consolidate, and how to progress. So yeah, my proposal would be to start the final comment period.
So I presented this RFC last Thursday in our working group meeting. That's why I the comments. But yeah, main concern Aaron brought was about not having huge efforts to consume the new consolidated stuff in Bosch. Yeah. And also not diverge that we don't have 2 different implementations. And I think your adjustments are going in that direction, which is good. Yeah. Yeah, will be good to have that one consumed by Bosch and by cloud control, and then start consolidating if we want. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything against starting the final comment period. Yeah, Chris, do you have any?
Yeah, no, I'm just reading. I missed the ARMS update. I'm just reading it now. Sorry.
All fine.
I like the revised approach. I hadn't thought of that. No, I think we're good for final comment period.
It's still if we get comments which are blocking the merge.
Yeah,
It
and we
is not
continue.
that-
No problem.
no one can comment on that if we started. Yes. Okay, why something like this? Okay. So I didn't see any updates on the SysWalk and SysWalk RFCs and this libvirt for VirtualBox CPI. We had some discussions here in the enhanced tech handling. I also just put some comments regarding whether we should have state or not, or time-based.
Yeah, it's the first time that we would introduce such time. On the other hand, for stacks, why not? I'm not against this approach. Would like to hear a little bit more feedback, especially by Greg and maybe some other copy developers, whether there's things that make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, just think about you introduce a new stack and you have already set up the deprecation and yeah, deactivation timelines. Awful. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I like this idea from being able to provide alternate stacks that are hardened or something like that. I'm not a fan of the idea of trying to preserve CF Linux FS3 or FS2 or CentOS stack or any of the other stuff that we've retired for good reason through the years because it's not supported from a security standpoint. So I like the idea. I just don't necessarily like one of the use cases.
Yeah, for where it comes from our side as a big public path provider, it's the issue that we don't get rid of the old stacks as a standard delivery, but we want to get rid for security reasons because we don't want to advertise FS3 anymore, that people can use it, and then you usually run into a few escalations backed up by a lot of money, and technical arguments usually don't count then enough. And we do not have a solution for that at the moment. And with these custom stacks, it's not nice, but we have a de-escalation path, right? We tell them we remove the stack no matter what. if you really think it's a good idea to run on it, you can take the old one from somewhere, continue to run your application so it's not terminated, the same way as old Docker applications can still run on a foundation with ancient Docker images. I mean, we are not free of this problem. That's, I think, the one use case.
But
The hardened stack is another use case, of course.
but this one is about having better management of the stack itself. It's not about custom.
Yeah, these are now two separate RFCs. One is for custom stacks, and this one is for deprecation timelines and, as it is written right now, automatic stepwise deprecation of an old stack when it passes certain timestamps. So
That's
that
what I
you,
try.
yeah.
What happens when I try to do stuff from memory instead of reading the thing in front of me? Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
So we still have some change request on this. So I think we at least Stephan, you have. I also have one.
Mhm.
My change request is not blocking. It's just a statement that we usually release every 4 years one stack, which is not true. Yeah, usually we released every 2 years, and the only one which we skipped was focal. Yeah. And the other one is about the state and timestamp discussion.
Yeah, I have some asks to add also the changes in the API and in the CFCLI that should be added.
Yes.
That we see
Okay,
that there are efforts necessary also in that area.
Yeah, I think we have also we should have an agreement about the state and timestamp before we start.
Yeah, definitely.
So still early, so to start the final comment period. And we have a new one. Or do we have any? Do you want to discuss anything, Chris, about that one?
No. Good on know.
And there is a new RFC about having open API specification for the V3 APIs of CF.
Yeah, I didn't find the time yet to read it, so no comment from my side yet.
The same here. I can put in progress, but I also don't have any feedback yet. But I like the idea to have this. Okay, then.
Just for 1256 real quick. What I didn't quite know is it kind of leaned towards this was an idea, but they were looking for somebody else to actually do the work.
Well, actually, there are some POCs already existing by, I think, Wayne Seguin. But the question is, how to progress? Should we take that as a basis? How shall it be maintained over time? If the API changes, is that a manual process? Can we generate the? Probably not, because it's, yeah, for Ruby, there's too much magic in the source code. And these are the questions. So I think there is no controversial discussion about having an API specification. The more interesting question is how do we bring it into the development process, into the maintenance, that we abandon the existing documentation and bring the content from the existing documentation somehow into this spec. Questions like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But even if someone does the initial work to create a specification for the current state. If we adopt this, agree on this, then I think this should be something which is then belongs to the ARI working group, and it's evolved. I don't know. It's adjusted when we introduce API changes.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise,
Otherwise,
it would be
yeah.
worse like the current documentation if it's outdated. No,
That's
that's
what I'm
clear.
looking for here is the
Sure.
working group that would get assigned to actually be doing this work is actually okay with this RFC coming in the door.
Yeah, that's the copy area of ARI that basically has to
Yeah,
say that's okay or not okay.
yeah.
All right, that's all I had to say for this one.
Mhm. Okay, status, RFC status. Yeah, we have the new one about credential binding rotation now, which we accepted last time. And I
Yeah, work has not yet started. Maybe next week we can move it.
okay.
We will see. So at least it's planned that we work on it.
This is great. Okay, on the issues, the provider page, is there something now available, Ram? Do you know? Okay, Ram, maybe it's not. I don't see any update here in the ticket. And the rest is the same. So we can proceed then with any other business. Yeah, do you have any topics for any other business?
I think this is normally the part where Ron makes his plug for CF Day.
I have one question. If Ram, are you available?
I'm here, Beyhan.
I've been looking through the schedule and noticed the talk about there is one talk from Stackit and Wayne about new CPI for Stackit infrastructure.
Yeah.
And that is not open source yet or not available. Do you know anything about this?
No, this was flagged by Julian during the review process. I'm yet to get a clarification from them, but I'm speaking to them about it.
Okay, because I also got questions from other people asking, okay, there is an accepted talk, but there is no open source repository yet. Yeah, you are
If you don't get an answer, Wayne lives like 10 minutes away from me. I can go knock on his door if you need me.
Thanks for the offer, Chris.
Okay. Any other updates about CFD, Ram?
No, we just need people to register.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still on my list.
Cool.
But I got some feedback from some people that they like the agenda. Yeah.
That's good. Thanks so much.
I really wish I could go. It looks like a nice setup that you got there. Our lineup of talks.
Yeah. And it's in Frankfurt. You just can fly for the day.
That's torture.
I was in New York City. I still couldn't even fly in for the day, and I'm in New York.
Okay. Yeah.
Just the other side of it.
Yeah. Okay. If there are no other topics, Udia, done for today. Yeah, thank you for your time and take care. See you next time.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Selfie.